have never looked more like a soccer mom than I do today. Hey y'all, I am back and I have more of your Let's Not Meet stories that I'm super nervous to read. I'm gonna hop right into the stories because I do have a little bit of rambling to do at the end of this video. I know that's surprising considering I just uploaded like a 40-minute rambly video, but I do have more to tell you. So hopping right in, this first story says, "The man who was watching me at 3 a.m. Hey, I've told this story to so many of my friends since it happened and no one has believed me. Fingers crossed, since so many people here have had similar encounters with creeps, people here might know that I'm being truthful about this absolutely batshit man that I met. Also, sorry it's so long, I'm a rambly gal. So, when I turned 18, I decided to go to university. I had to spend my first year studying at a campus that didn't have enough student accommodation on site for all of the students. Because of this, I had to live in a tiny little shed for an entire year. There were about 50 of these sheds, 25 on each row, both rows facing one another with an extremely loud wooden walkway joining the two. And when I say extremely loud, I mean literally every step people took on that thing echoed, near burst my eardrums. So annoying. My first few months there were fairly normal. I'm not a very social person, so I didn't really go to parties, etc., just vibed in my room. That is, until I was coming back from my weekly grocery shop and there was a man, around mid-20s, sat on the floor leaning his back against my door. As soon as he saw me, he jumped up and was like, "Hey, how long have you been here for? Saw you leaving this morning and realized that we haven't met. I thought I'd come introduce myself." I'm not exactly a master of social etiquette, but I'm pretty sure that waiting outside a stranger's door for like an hour is at least a little weird. He introduced himself as Mike. I made polite conversation. I basically had to because he was stood outside my door and wouldn't move, so it's not like I could get past him. It took about 30 seconds for him to start flirting with me, and it didn't really make me uncomfortable at first, but my bag was super heavy and I just wanted to go into my room. He asked if I had a boyfriend. I should have just said yes, but I made the huge mistake of being honest and telling him no. But I'm not interested because I'm not into men. I wish I was a good enough writer to put into words how creepy the look he gave me was. Just take my word for it. And he goes, "Oh, you're a lesbian, huh?" And then he just stares for like a solid 5 seconds in dead silence. I ask if I can get past, he says yes and moves. So I unlock my door and go inside my little shed room and he just stands in the doorway, clearly expecting to carry on the conversation. I don't feel in danger, just kind of grossed out, so I let him stand there. He then goes, "You know, I find lesbians crazy hot. Like, ew, 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 go away!" I gave an awkward laugh and he keeps talking and talking, asking super invasive questions. At first, somewhat normal. Things like if I had a girlfriend back home or if I was looking for a girlfriend at uni. Then it escalated into, what's the furthest you've ever gone with a girl and would you ever let a guy watch? I brushed off his questions, tell him I need to study and basically shut the door in his face. I did not see him again for a while, but things started to get weird. For quick context, we had a cleaner come into our rooms to take our bins for us. They used to knock at like 7 a.m. and ask for our bins, and since none of us wanted to be woken up that early, we would leave our bin bags outside our door the night before so they would just take them in the morning without having to knock. My sleeping pattern was absolutely awful, and at one night I was awake at like 2 a.m. Then I heard one of the shed doors open. I could hear it was coming from a few doors down to my left, where Mike's room was. And then those really loud echoey footsteps on the walkway outside, but they sounded different, as if someone was trying to tiptoe, but it was impossible to be quiet out there. Then I saw a shadow brush past my window, then stopped outside my front door, then someone picking up my bin bag, then footsteps back to the room. This guy stole my rubbish at 2 a.m. I repeat, this guy stole my rubbish at 2 a.m. I used to purposefully stay up after that to listen out for it, and it happened every single time I left my bin bag out front. Every single time. I never confronted him because what the hell am I supposed to say? After a few months of this, yes, months, I had one final encounter with this guy. Doing my laundry in front of other people freaks me out, so every Sunday I would set my alarm for 3 a.m. and go do all of my laundry that night so I had the laundry room to myself. Since I was living in a shed, I had to walk a few minutes to the laundry room at the nearest accommodation building. To get there, I had to walk past the car park by the sheds. It was basically just gravel, and it only fit about 10 cars all cramped in together. One night, I had taken a load of laundry to the laundry room. On the way there, I heard some scuffling on the gravel floor in the car park. It freaked me out, sure, but I ignored it and walked past. Then on my way back, I could have sworn I saw something move behind one of the cars, but again, ever the first to die in a horror movie, I ignored it. It wasn't until I went back to get my laundry and heard something for the third time that I decided to actually check it out. I just stopped and listened, looking around the cars. I turned the torch on my phone, since it was practically pitch black, and shone it towards the cars. Suddenly there was a loud bang, and the car alarm went off. Then, yep, there was Mike. I didn't stick around, since the loud sound of the alarm freaked me out so bad to cause me to run. but I was looking long enough to notice his pants were around his ankles and for some reason he wasn't wearing a shirt. I ran like a damn Olympian for like 20 minutes straight. I went back for my laundry once the sun came up and decided to move back home with my family and just take my classes online instead. I have no idea why I didn't report it to the university. I figured there was nothing they could do about it. Thinking back, I'm sure they must have had security cameras around there, but it's been 2 years now, so there's no point. So to the absolute freak who used to steal my rubbish bags and was watching me at 3 a.m., let's never meet again. I hate everything about that story. I hate everything. That is so fucking weird. That is so weird. Like, there's not, like, I have no words. I have no words for that story. That is just the most bizarre shit in the entire. His pants were around his ankles. What was he doing? What was he doing? I can't, we're moving on. This next story says, guy I dated for a couple weeks tried to kill me in the school bathroom. Now I date girls. Trigger warning, self-harm, mentions of, you know what I mean, and animal abuse. Okay, so this happened last year around the beginning of school, and there was this cute looking dude in my main classes, ELA, social studies, math, science, that I was eyeing for about a month. So with today's modern technology, I found his Instagram pretty quick and DM'd him. Hey, it's Lisa from school. I thought you were pretty cute. Do you want to go to Subway for lunch tomorrow? I live in a small city, so Subway's the only place to go on a date. Anyways, I was also pretty excited because I've never asked anyone out before, let alone had a partner. This was a big deal. He didn't answer right away, but when he did, he was like, yes please, I've been noticing you lately too, and you're very beautiful. Not gonna lie, kind of gave me the ick, but I looked past it because he said yes and I was over the moon. I got ready the next day and we went out to lunch. We were in 10th grade. Surprisingly, it went well. We talked about music and school and whatnot, and I went home happy. It was nice like that for about a week, and we would just talk to each other like normal people, and it was going well. About a week in though, he started getting dry. He would only ever compliment me, and when I would try to talk to him, it would be one-word responses or no responses at all. I tried to stay interested, as one does, but I was just not feeling it anymore. So one night I texted him. I don't remember exactly what I said because I blocked him. I don't know if this is gonna work out. You're a very nice guy, but I'm just not interested. Sorry it has to be this way. I sent the message and was kind of sad. I thought this would last for at least a month, till he got weird, and I sat there wallowing until I got a message. Please stay with me, you're the first girl I've ever loved, and I can't lose you. Oh god. Well, what the fuck am I supposed to say? Also, I'm non-binary, he knows this, so girl did not help. Anyways, I apologized and he pleaded. This went on for a minute until he sent me a picture of his... I'm not gonna read what they said verbatim. With the caption, look what you made me do. I know you guys know, I know, yeah, that's bad. I might bleep that out. I was fucking livid. I have scars on my arm, so it's no secret I'm recovering from SH, addiction, so this was my final fucking straw. Any chance he had was gone and I let him know. I told him to go fuck himself because I knew he had done that on purpose, for whatever sick reason, and blocked him and put my phone down without second guessing myself. Good for you. Okay, they're like doing something outside. It might be a bus, I don't know, but it's kind of loud, but I'm gonna keep reading anyways because it hasn't stopped. I've been like waiting for it to stop and it has not stopped, so I don't know if they're like doing something at the Circle K or what's going on. So I'm just gonna keep reading. It's just gonna be like a little noise in the background, I'm sorry. I went and got a popsicle to clear my head, I guess, and when I got back, I had a follow request. It was just a user 3637847. It was a bus, it's leaving. And my dumbass didn't even think to connect it to Aiden. So I accepted, and immediately I was bombarded with messages of him threatening to take him back, and I was so overwhelmed and upset that I just blocked him again without a word and started crying. So much for my first relationship. We had some really nice conversations too, so I was slightly devastated because part of me truly felt like this would work. I had that false hope, you know? I finished my little popsicle and told my best friend everything. I could barely even get it out because I was so embarrassed, but I did. She didn't reply because it was late and she's sleeping, so I just vented everything to her and I went to bed. I woke up the next morning and kind of forgot all about it. I had more follow requests and was brought back to the previous night and was just down in the dumps again, as one would be. But I got up and started my way off to school. It was pretty normal until about halfway when I did my routine shoulder check and I saw someone in the corner of my eye about 20 feet behind me. And without thinking, I fully whipped around and it was fucking him. He also shouldn't have even been there at all because his house was not around here, so I was immediately pissed, not even scared. Aiden, what are you doing, man? I said, just kind of exhausted. I didn't want to confront him or even look at him. I expected him to break down and plead or something, but he just kept striding towards me. I was growing more concerned till he was right fucking there and grabbing me. But he's not a big dude. We're both about 5'7", so I was fast to bite the fuck out of him when he attempted to put me in a headlock and I bolted to school while he wasn't far behind. I didn't even have time to feel any emotion because right now it's life or death. I got to the school and looked behind me and he wasn't even there. I didn't care and I ran to the office telling that cunty office lady everything. She made me sit down so I could talk to the principal. Keep in mind she knows what just happened and did not give a fuck that a dude tried to get me just now. So every time someone walked by, I went into full-on fight or flight. I eventually met with the principal and he told me he couldn't do anything because it didn't happen on school grounds, which is kind of fair, but what the fuck at the same time? Absolute bullshit. So I went about my day completely on edge. That is not okay. I was a little less jumpy when I found out he wasn't in class, so things went smoothly up until lunch. My squad got a table in the cafeteria, as we do, and we were all enjoying ourselves when I look around, just cuz, and there he was, across the room looking at me. I tried to be a badass and stare back when I got scared and stopped and told my friends. With everything happening, we all just agreed that I go home. So my best friend Caitlin walked me to make sure I was okay, and for the next week, it was all great. I didn't see him, hear from him, anything, and I could just enjoy myself. But as these stories go, that didn't last. At one point, I went to the bathroom at school. I hadn't thought about Aiden for like a whole day and was just kind of washing my hands when someone walked in the bathroom. I don't usually look at people, so I just kind of glanced over, did a friendly nod, and looked back down to my hands. And I realized that was not a fucking girl. It was Aiden. I whipped around to face him, and he was stomping at me with a little Swiss Army knife. This was it. I thought I was going to get stabbed and become a little news story that floated around for a month, but not today. He raised his hand weirdly high, which let me duck under it, and I grabbed his arm with pure luck on my side, and then I flew out of his hands. I guess my instincts made me grab his dumb fucking hair, and I pounded his head into the tile wall full force over and over again. Oh my god! I didn't stop. I was so done with this. He had tried to attack me twice at this point, and I'd already had a lot of anger I needed to get out anyways. So I used both hands and bashed his head onto the counter until I could not anymore. It felt like minutes, but to be honest, it was probably like 17 seconds. I was not expecting that. Holy shit. He was screaming and crying on the floor at this point, but I just stood there looking at him, trying to process what happened when I was yanked from my back by who I found out was a teacher who thought I was the attacker. I mean, you kind of were. I know it was self-defense, 100%, but from that moment, like, if they walked in, you 100% look like the attacker, because they don't know he had a knife. He doesn't have the knife in his hand anymore, so I kind of understand why they would, like, grab you. I get that, because in the moment, it does look like you're just beating the shit out of this man, but I do know it was self-defense. Oh, they said, who could blame him, honestly? Look at the scene. I couldn't really go to the police since I sent him to the hospital, and technically he never hurt me, but he got expelled, and I haven't seen him since, and that was last year. Didn't end there, though. About a month later, I found a mutilated kitten outside my bedroom window, which was fucking weird because I don't even have a snap map on. How did he find my house, let alone bedroom window? But it's okay, because if he hasn't tried to hurt me by now, he probably won't. Anyways, I'm now okay, everything's cool. People avoid me a little because everyone found out what I did to them. And word spread that I was the abusive one, but it's fine because I wasn't popular or anything to begin with, and I'm not actively looking for friends either. Also, I was now able to get back into dating. Caitlin, my best friend, is now my long-term girlfriend, and it's going pretty fucking well. I love her so much. That is awesome. That's about it. So, to my sadistic stalker who hurt a kitty cat, let's never meet again, because I will fucking hurt you. I think you've proven that. I would never mess with you ever again. Oh my god, I would be so scared of you. I'm sorry, I'd be so scared. I was like, not the ending I was expecting at all. That is wild. That is wild. But okay, I'm gonna read one more story. This says, the homeless man that broke into our storeroom and robbed us, let's not meet again. I used to work at a retail store a few years ago when I was 18. I worked there for 4 years and loved everything about my job. I have a lot of crazy stories, from customers shitting in the changing rooms to a homeless man breaking into our storeroom and robbing us. This happened around 8 p.m. while we were closing the store and getting ready to leave. My coworkers and I were counting the cash in the registers while others organized and cleaned the clothing racks. We finished counting all the register tills and handed them to our manager to carry to the back and place in the safe. After a few minutes, she comes running out sobbing, and we were all immediately worried and went over to comfort her. She begins to explain that while she was walking to the office, located in the storeroom, she saw a disheveled man standing in the center of the office going through her purse. He turns around once he notices her presence and says, "Oh, I've been caught. Time to go to the next store," and nonchalantly walks past her and out the emergency fire door that led to the loading dock. She didn't even bother putting the tills in the safe, she just dropped them and ran out into the shop floor. After freaking out, we all decided to go back to the storeroom where our lockers were located too, to see if any of our belongings had been taken. My male coworker grabbed a mannequin arm to use as a weapon in case the homeless man came back in. Funny, I know, but it's all we had. We check if the coast is clear and immediately run to our lockers, rummaging through our bags, and to our dismay, discover that my phone, including multiple other phones, and cash was missing. He'd also gone through the fridge in the break room and ate everyone's leftovers. Ew. We never made an effort to lock our lockers, but after that experience, we made sure to always lock them. We finally decided to call the police, and they took down details of his description and also everything he had stolen. We tried to track our phones, but he was one step ahead and turned all of our phones off, so all we could do was walk together to the parking lot and go home. I just entered the living room ready to tell my mom everything that happened when she hands me her phone and says my male coworker wants to know if I was home yet. I thought he was just making sure I had arrived home safely, but instead tells me that he caught the guy and was actually sitting on top of him right now. I was shocked and went back to the parking lot because I really wanted my phone back. I can't live without it. When I got there, he had already let the homeless man go since it was clear he had some mental issues and didn't want to take legal action against him. He proceeds to tell me that on his drive home, he found the man wandering cluelessly in the middle of the road, not far from where we work. He stops him on the side of the road and starts to interrogate him and tackles him to the floor after he tried to make a run for it. My coworker grabs his backpack before sitting on top of his torso and goes through his bag collecting all of our belongings. I got my phone and cash back and so did the rest of my coworkers. We reviewed our shop floor cameras and still don't know how we got into the storeroom or how long he had been in there. As we suspect, he may have been hiding in one of the bathroom stalls for hours. To the homeless man that broke into our storeroom and scared the shit out of my sweet manager, let's never meet again. I don't know, I am picturing your coworker just sitting on top of him, going through his backpack, getting all your stuff back, and I don't know, that's like the funniest image to me. It is sad because I feel like, you have to be really struggling in order to do something like that, especially as a homeless person. I just feel like if you're gonna go through all the effort to break into a store and hide in the store for a while, just steal a couple phones, obviously you're going through it. But at the same time, you just can't do that. You can't fucking do that. And so it's kind of funny. It's a little funny. But that is all I'm gonna read for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any more stories you would like to share with me or the community, I will have my subreddit linked down below. I keep saying I'm gonna say that at the beginning and I always forget. I know I could refilm a clip of the intro and just say it and edit it into it, but I don't like doing that. Because then it's what if it's weird and it doesn't look right? And it seems off, and it seems like I edited it together. I just like when it flows naturally. I don't know. But now I'm gonna go because I have a lot of rambling to do. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so I said in my last video, in my makeup video, that I really wanted to quit vaping, and my plan was, at least I think I mentioned this. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this. My plan was, I was almost out of vape juice. So once I ran out, I wasn't gonna go buy juice, I wasn't gonna go buy disposables, I wasn't gonna get anything, I was just gonna try to quit. I'm on day 3 and I'm doing really well this time because last time, I'm gonna be honest, I was a big fat liar. I think I said I made it to day 4 or something without hitting my vape at all. That's a fucking lie. I hit it once a day or twice a day at most, but for the most part it was only once a day. It was just a random time during the day. I was I'm just gonna hit it once, just whatever. But I did, I probably made it through the first 2 days, and then on day 3, I hit it once, and then day 4, I probably hit it once. Day 5, I hit it multiple times, and then by day 6, I was back at it. I'm on day 3. I still have my vape. I'm gonna throw it out because there's really no reason for me to have it anymore because I don't even have juice to put in it. It's also where I fucked up last time was I still had juice in my house. I still had everything available to me and I didn't throw anything away. So this time I feel like I'm in a lot better place because cravings only last so long. So when I am really craving nicotine, I would have to literally get in my car, drive to a vape shop, find a vape shop, drive to a vape shop, and by the time I got there, my craving would be gone and I would just feel pathetic. So I did get nicotine patches again. I know I said last time that they didn't work. I got a new brand. Let me tell you, they're working. My cravings are not nearly as bad this time. It's just there's the physical aspect that I still see myself doing. I still have cravings, don't get me wrong, but it's the physical aspect where I was doing my nails today and normally while my nails are drying, I'll hit my vape. So I put my nail under the light and then I went to reach and it's not there. The physical aspect is still very much present, but my cravings really aren't that bad. I got the Target brand, by the way. I was gonna get the really expensive one. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called. I was gonna get the expensive one, but then I was I'll try the Target brand because the last one I tried was from Amazon and it didn't do anything. But I got step 1 because I was smoking a pod a day, which is equivalent to a pack of cigarettes, if not more. So I got the patches that was if you smoke 10 or more cigarettes. So I got step 1. Holy shit. I put the patch on. I got the fattest buzz. Oh God. And then about 2 hours in, I was so nauseous. So it was obviously too strong for me. So I threw it out. I didn't think Target would let me return it. So I just threw it out and I went and bought steps 2 and 3. So I'm on step 2 right now. I'm doing step 2. I'm on day 3. I think I'm doing pretty good. I haven't even gotten in my car to I haven't even looked up vape shops around me. And so I feel like I'm doing a lot better this time around there have been times where I'm like, I'm just gonna hit the vape because it's out. It's completely out of juice, so if I hit it, it would just taste burnt as fuck, and it wouldn't even be good, and it wouldn't even do anything because there's nothing in it. It would just taste burnt. So there's been times where I'm like, I'm just gonna hit it, and then I don't because I'm like, there's nothing in it. Like, that would do nothing for me. And so I haven't touched it. I haven't even looked at it. And I don't know, I'm proud of myself because I feel like I'm doing a lot better this time. I haven't really told many of my friends that I'm doing this just because I feel like when I tell fucking 30,000 people, I haven't told many of my friends because when I tell more people, I feel like I disappoint more people, but I want to be like as open and honest with you guys as possible. Like, this is not an easy process. I have been smoking nicotine or vaping nicotine for like 5-6 years, a long time. At least I think it's 5 years. I think I started when I was 22, and I'm 27, so 5 years. And I think I had maybe like a break. I know I had a break in between. Don't know how long that break was. Maybe a year. I'm almost 28 though, so I'm just gonna say 5 years. I've been vaping for 5 years. I hit my vape so much during the day. I have it in my hand constantly. So yeah, I'm on day 3 right now. I'm doing pretty good. I've heard a lot of people say the first week is hell, and the second week it gets easier, like the second or third week, and then like a month down the line, you're gonna be like, fuck, like back to like shitty, whatever. It's a process, just gonna take time, but I'm almost halfway through the first week, so I'm feeling really good about it. And I haven't even like looked up vape shops, and I have nothing here. So I'm doing great, I think. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. I just knew I would ramble about that for a while, but I'm gonna go. See ya!